It's not muted anymore.
Perfect.
We're live. Hey, Greg. We're
Yeah.
live.
Appreciate it.
Hey.
Look at him. Look at him giving me the heads up. Hey, everybody. What's happening? Welcome to the show. This is the Technically Speaking Live show. Live from the 1% studio.
Live from the 1%. Wait, I feel like I gotta go like sunny.
Columbus,
And
Ohio.
steamy Columbus, Ohio. I think I just pegged the
Like
pegged the audio.
9,000 degree Columbus, Ohio.
Oh my god.
So what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for stopping by to check out the show. Again, if you're watching live or if you're listening to the podcast, whichever the case might be.
Look, I'm sweating.
You are. So real talk.
God.
We were like real close to being on time, but as with any episode of this show, there's certain technical difficulties that we always come across. So
I found them all.
you found every last one of them.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what. For you folks, I had our guest on Skype, Hangouts, and then literally 5 minutes before the show, we're like, you know what? I'm gonna download Zoom, and we're gonna do it that way.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good time. You missed a good time. Scott says he's a little bit frazzled.
Quite frazzled. I'm gonna come in hot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real aggressive. Real aggressive. It's in my dinner.
It's in my dinner.
Don't tell me what I know, Travis.
Shut up, Travis.
Shut up, Travis.
Literally nobody gets that joke. Watch Zootopia. Like,
If you don't get that joke,
we're gonna get that. We're gonna
not
be
friends.
that show that quotes random Disney movies because we have kids and kids watch Disney movies. If you're not aware,
Don't
And
tell me
that's-
what I know, Travis.
That's what we quote now. Not like cool movies. We're not like quoting Top Gun or Terminator.
That's because Top
or
Gun
Predator.
sucks.
Oh, shut your mouth.
Sucks. When my belly starts to...
Oh my God.
Love it.
I
I told people about that at work, and they were like, "No, did he really make that? Is that a
yeah.
spoof?" I was like, "Oh no, that's real.
Yeah.
That's very real."
And not only did you sing it, not once, but like at
Five.
least 5 times.
5 times.
At least 5 times yesterday.
I need a new song.
Literally anything.
Wait, we have stats in studio. What I'm
We
going
do.
to wait.
I am studio audience.
I am going to on my
Day
Instagram
2.
stories. I'm going to show you stats when I ask stats the following question. Hang on, I'll flip this around.
Again, I have no idea what's about to happen, so this will be fun for me too.
Stats. I need a song that you know that I can sing, and I will sing it live on our studio show from the what?
Do you have to?
What? 1% Studios? Because there it is! That was the 1%. Oh, burn! Oh, burn! That was like some weird Inception type stuff that we just went. Like, okay, anyway. Stats. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome. I'm so glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be here.
We
Are
might be
you?
buffering.
We're buffering?
No, we're good now.
No, we've been kind of go in and out.
Buffering,
We're,
maybe a little
we're
bit.
in and out, but at 8:07 we went good according to YouTube, and we're good so far.
Okay. So anyway,
It's touch and go.
I mean, with us,
I had to like crank down.
we are all buffering.
We're buffering.
No, we're good now. Maybe.
We're probably gonna buffer for a while.
So okay, sorry if anybody out there is experiencing buffering.
Yeah, it's buffering here too.
What about your internet, bro? Do you even internet?
I mean,
Says it's green.
Yeah, we're definitely getting some buffering now.
I'm sure it'll be
Okay.
fine.
Why don't you tell the people what we're going to talk about tonight, and I'll work on that. In a moment. Remember those technical problems we were talking about? Turns out we're not done yet.
So here's my thing. We have probably one of my most favorite people. And I always get... I catch crap all the time when I say most favorite. Just say favorite. Just say favorite. You know what? I'm going to say most favorite. One of my most favorite people on the planet will be joining us here shortly, as soon as we figure out Greg's internet issue.
I mean, it's working now, so I fixed it.
I turned my phone off Wi-Fi.
What, did you? Turn off all the Wi-Fi. Turn off all the Wi-Fi.
Wait,
Michael
that's
Daniels will
appreciated.
be joining us, and I absolutely love the man to death. Probably, I hang out with him constantly when we go out to some place in California. We go out and just hang out, and it's a blast. And he's one of the Google Top contributors, so we'll probably pick his brain a little bit. If you want to know about Google Top contributors, we're going to pick his brain. How many times can I say pick his brain?
I mean, I'm
At
sure
least
you got
2 or
least
3 more
three
times. Gladys. After that, we're going to kind of dive into some of the tech. I have a bone to pick with all the leaks that are happening.
Yeah, you're salty about this.
Stuck in
You're
my crawl.
like-
I want a surprise! God, I'm sweating.
What's funny is, like, today, of all days, happened to be another massive leak.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking. And then I'm going to tell you that Fortnite sucks. And it sucks hard. I don't even care what I say. Fortnite sucks. Stats, hit me with a song.
Just to be clear, it is Fortnite.
What do I say?
You said it correctly. You wrote it incorrectly on the
I did?
channel promo.
What did I write in channel promo?
Fortnite.
Fortnite. That sucks too. Fortnite sucks. Fortnite sucks. I don't care. Cavs and 4.
Fortnite.
Nobody gets that reference. I know you do. Nobody gets that reference. Steph Curry, Stephanie Curry, I don't care. Cavs and 4. Are you still messing with your internet?
Yeah.
Have I? Okay. Let me roll. Oh God, I wish I had dad jokes like on the fly.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna feel something.
Yeah, we're gonna maybe.
We're gonna feel it.
I fixed it.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. Oh boy.
One of them days, friends.
It says that the health is good according to this.
Yeah, we're buffering like crazy now.
Are we?
Yeah.
Do we need to just restart? Like shut down, restart?
Gotta hope not.
When my belly's down to the... Maybe I should just parlay this into, before we get Michael on the show, let me just tell you why I have a problem with Fortnite. Not Fortnite, but I have a problem with that too. We'll get to that in another show. I think Fortnite is in...
Michael, you're too kind, sir.
What?
Michael,
God! Oh, yeah, now Google's like, you're not getting anything. Bad stream.
Yeah.
Fortnite. So I don't really understand the premise of why did I want to make a game that's like the Hunger Games, especially when I fly. Okay, I fly out of a plane. Cool. I got to figure out how to land. Okay, I got it.
You know what my favorite part about this is? Before this stream,
I had no idea.
You didn't know any of this.
Not a clue.
Matter of fact, I'd even thought about setting up Fortnite just so that he could try the game long enough for him to really justify why it sucks.
Okay, so here's where I'm really jaded when it comes to Fortnite. But it's for folks like, Jeremy Judkins has a Note 9. Our buddy Dan, Modern Dad, has a Note 9. And everyone is hitting them up for that exclusive Galaxy skin.
Yep.
And that's why I hate the game. I hate the game because of that.
That's it.
That's not everything, but that's the thing that just finally chapped my.
Yeah.
It's chapped me.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
And the second thing is, man, our show sucks right now. It sucks. Like me tirade, I feel like whatever. The second thing that really sucks about Fortnite, I can't remember which the second part was, but the part that I was gonna go with the first time, Hunger Games style, falling out of a plane.
Yeah.
I gotta get out there. I'm alive maybe, 30 seconds before somebody's like, pow, pow!
Okay.
I didn't know that until... Look,
I'm alive for like 30 seconds, and I play video games on the regular.
Yeah.
I kid you not, you would probably land, and then somebody would murk you from a mile and a half away. And you'd be like, I don't even know what happened.
Like, how is that fun? How's that fun? That's why I hate the game. You can't.
If you don't get it, you're not going to get it.
I'm not going to get it.
Do yourself a favor.
What?
Before we bring in our guest, close down any extraneous windows and stuff that you have open, applications, all that kind of stuff.
I do. I literally have OBS.
Okay.
And then the live studio.
Okay.
I have no other choice.
Okay.
Literally no other choice.
Last thing is, I mean, do you want to try something live?
Why what are you thinking?
You should probably switch networks.
Oh wow, you want to go that live?
Yeah.
Do
you want to try it, or do you want to just go with it?
You want me to switch to the technically speaking?
That is the one. It's named such for a reason.
Okay.
Okay, folks.
Literally doing it,
and
the stream stopped.
Did it?
I don't know.
So we're gonna try. We still have Michael on the line, so that's good.
It's starting to catch up.
Okay, that's good.
It's now just catching up. It's working. It's not working.
Do you see?
Nope, it's dead. It's red. 0 kilobytes a second.
That's not good. Okay, hang on. Let me fix some things.
I found a song. Would you like it in email,
Yeah, no, email. No.
Did they fix it so you can put a link in the chat?
I don't need a link. Just type this out.
That might even be.
I can't see this. I can see no
bios.
comments.
All right, so I just gave you high priority on.
What, you want me to send you an email with the lyrics?
What's the song?
That's the surprise.
I mean, you can text it to me.
Okay. Maybe.
I mean, it pings up to 3,000, then drops to 0. Pings to 3,000, drops to 0.
There's literally nothing else going on. There's nothing on the end. So
You want me to turn off my Wi-Fi and just go straight ether?
you can try it, but I don't even know if that's Michael. We might lose you for a second. Just FYI.
It says self-assigned. It says it's connected.
Random internet disconnections here, plus Peach's laptop has been.
We're streaming again. I don't actually know if we're gonna be live, but
Let's see if it shows back up. Hey, stats, can you let me know if we actually...
let me know if it actually comes back, because I don't know.
I just refreshed.
see.
Yes, it is streaming.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't know.
Now, hang on.
You know what? The
Hey, it
thing
happens
is,
on TV.
We'll have a boatload of people tell us in the comments if we actually are live.
Look, it happens on TV.
It certainly does.
People do this all the time. We had a random power outage. What we'll do is we'll just kick off the show like nothing happened.
Wait.
Okay, we're pretty
I think it
close.
worked.
Are we working again?
No, I mean, look, if you see anything,
Oh, yeah.
yes, he is.
Okay, but can you hear anything?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Oh my God, it worked! High five!
Making stuff happen. Anyway, so as we were just saying, like, pretend that there wasn't just a 10-minute gap in the show.
And that's how you solve all the world's problems. All of them.
And also the cure for cancer. I completely forgot. Oh, you were talking about Fortnite and how much it sucks.
Yeah, but let's not pay any attention to that. It was probably buffering. Nobody heard it.
Yeah. I think the buffering issue...
I doubt anybody... Look. Hey, guys, we have a guest.
yeah.
Hey, guys.
For anybody who happens to still be wading through all these technical difficulties, our guest, your longtime compatriot.
Yes. Say more about that as I
As you work on stuff.
As I do things. Say more about that. You don't even know. It's okay. I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen.
As I'm going to speak,
the
you're
show
just
is
talking.
total.
Yeah,
No,
do your thing.
I'm sorry.
Do your thing. That's
Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, number 16 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts. It's the worst accent ever. Shane Falco. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, your friend, all of our friends, Michael Daniels. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Daniels.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome
at
to the
long
show.
last, sir.
Oh my God.
Hello. Hello, everyone. How are you? Oh, my goodness.
Save us. Lord, save us.
You certainly chose an interesting show to join us for.
Oh my God.
You know what? It doesn't matter, though. See, that's the beauty of live. That's what I love about a live show versus, like just very stereo and sitting there on a TV program or whatever. Live, you get all this fun extra stuff. That's what I like.
Yeah, I mean, that's
what I like.
Yeah, I mean, live is
That's
what
the
it is.
fun.
Like, you get to see it, and like in post-production, you could essentially cut out, well, I don't know, 22 minutes of the show that we shouldn't have even started. But I wouldn't have guessed that. Like, from a networking thing, I never would have guessed that.
weird series of problems. For anybody who wasn't in the room listening to Scott and I try really hard not to just swear at technology constantly.
Oh,
but
my
welcome to the
gosh.
show, man. I'm super glad to have you. Why don't you give people a quick rundown of your channel, hit them with your socials, all that jazz. Let the people know what you're about, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I do a show called Tinkering with Tech. It's right up here somewhere, up there on the thing, Tinkering with Tech. And basically every Wednesday night I do a show, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and I teach or I have people on that do tech stuff, anything to do with tech. I'm a very Google-centric person, and Scott Peachy, that's why we get along so well, because he's just like me on that. And I love, I was talking to Ben Perlmutter, who's a great visitor of your show, and
He
you
will
know him well.
He will
You guys-
actually be on our show in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I was talking to him and he says, you know what? It just works. I like their stuff because it just works. You know what I'm saying? It just, so that's, and that was a great point. And he's going to be on my show next week.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
I'll do a little Ben promo. There you go. A little Ben promo right there. He's going to talk about home automation. He's going to go over all the different things, like the stuff, like the video you guys just did on the doorbell and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully he's going to talk about all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool. So come watch Ben on my show next week. So I think that'll be a good
we'll be
one.
there, man.
Yeah, I hear you. But my thing is, I love tech. I mean, I just like you guys do. I mean, technically speaking, you're all about that as well. The thing that I started, I said, you know what, I know a bunch of stuff. Let me just get it out there so everybody can learn a little bit and do something with it. So that's kind of what I do. I give a lot just because I want people to know. And if I find something, I'm like, oh gosh, you know what? I'm making a video on that because that's so cool that I learned that. Somebody else might not know that. That's kind of my premise. And what I go, pretty random on all kinds of different things. But that's just kind of what I do. I go out and just kind of do that kind of. And then what I also love to do, like every so often, like bringing Ben on. Peachy, you've been on. You guys both have been on my show. And talking about stuff like that. I love bringing in experts in certain products or things that you use. It's just giving another point of view. So it's not just me every week just doing the same thing. I get to bring other people in. And I'm a huge Google person, Google fan. And like you mentioned at the very beginning, I'm a top contributor. I'm now a top contributor in Chrome, Hangouts, Assistant, and Duo and Allo.
What? So I'm man.
Yeah. Yeah, I recently got into all 5 of those. So I'm always, but see, you have to understand too, Duo just works. There's not a whole lot, I promise you, in the forum, there's not a lot of problems or issues. And then with Google stopping Allo, I mean, they just said they put a hold on it. Not a lot of comments in there either. I know. And I love the app. I think it's wonderful. It'd be great if SMS could work its way in, but you know, whatever. My thing is I love the assistant.
Oh my God.
I've fallen in love with the assistant, and that's why I became a top contributor in there, just answering a bunch of questions and helping out in there, because I just love that it's so available, like in Allo, like on your Pixel phone, like on your devices like the Google Home and Mini and things like that. I said, I really need to get in there. And they just said, hey, do you want to be a TC in here? I said, yeah, I do. That'd be great. Because then I get a little bit of
What is the dumbest question you've ever asked the assistant? Totally off the cuff on that one. You didn't know that one was coming.
I did not know that was coming.
Zing!
The dumbest thing I've ever asked is, oh my God, you know what? I have some pretty dumb ones actually. And it's so funny because my wife will just laugh. But I set it up ahead of time. And it's just stuff like, okay, and I'm going to give a real basic one because I can't get into some of them. Some are a little.
I hear you.
Maybe risque.
I respect that.
But it was really funny. It was really funny when I did it, and I'll have to tell you that one off the air. But it's really hilarious.
I respect that.
Okay, so I set it up ahead of time, but I say, okay, who's my what's my dog's name? And it'll tell me, hey, Sophie's your dog name. When was she born? 2012. I mean, I fed all that information in, so anytime I'm around and I can just ask it, and they're like, people are just amazed. They're like, oh my God. How does it know that? Like it knew how old my dog was.
The internet.
It saw when she was born, so it put the date up there. No,
you have to wear your tinfoil hat.
That's what I tell people.
Google knows everything.
Yeah. So, but I've asked some really dumb things, and here's what I like better though, Scott, to answer that. I'll ask a question, and the answer she gives sometimes I'm like, wow, that's right. But wow, I wasn't thinking of it that way. I mean, I can't give you an exact.
I got one of those.
Correct.
Yeah,
like you're not wrong.
For whatever reason, my daughter decided to ask a question, and Google interpreted it not the way I needed it to. It was things like, how is a dog born? And that's not what she said. And then Google gave me the answer. I was like, oh no! Unplugged.
Deeply biological.
It was not wrong. It was not wrong. But it started using words that I didn't want to explain to my kids. Funny. Like, oh my God.
I believe we call that the law of unintended consequences right there. That's so
That is
so
funny.
interesting. So
But I wanted to say, just real quick, I just want to
Yeah.
put this out there, and this is behind me. Google products. A lot of people don't know about this, so I like to push this. This is where you can go in and get answers to your questions with the different products, and it's just what is it? Productforums.google.com really is all you have to do to get there. But I just wanted to put that out there because some people don't know how to get their questions answered, and it's people just like you and me that know the product pretty well. So I just wanted to push that real quick because that's what the top contributors do, and I try and push them on my show as well. So
The Top Contributors is a very legitimate program. It's probably been one of my most favorite programs and that I've been a part of. I met Michael through the program. I met Ben through the program. So I met a ton of people through the program itself. And it's a lot of like-minded individuals. Straight up, full disclosure, when you walk into a room full of top contributors, we're all alike. Let me make that very clear.
Yeah.
We all have a very distinct personality.
Yeah.
We like very similar things.
Yeah.
I
mean, look, you're talking about nerd mecca.
Yeah,
We're talking
it's
about,
like a nerd mecca. Yep.
A bunch of nerds getting together talking about nerd stuff.
But the thing is like we all just
respect that.
straight up nerd out together. Like, oh my god, I'm in front of the Android statues. Well, clearly I have to take 50 selfies, and it happens, and that's what we do. And then we get together with each other and take selfies in front of the Android. We ask Google employees that are just bebopping around from random meetings, like, hey, can you take my picture?
Like, I'm sure you're heading off to this really important meeting. And
but like, that's cool.
Get my picture.
That's cool. I need you to take this picture. and so we do that, and, they actually kind of like us. I think because we're mega nerds.
I think
That
so
makes
too.
them kind of like
I like that you think that people like you. I think that's adorable.
hey, milkman, why don't you shut your hole? Yeah, why don't we talk about that? I even got Michael's permission for you to not do the milk thing because I knew you wouldn't do it. He's like, as long as I don't have to do it, I won't vomit. Like, look, I know. Greg's like, I can totally drink a gallon of milk in an hour.
Okay. At no point in time did I say that. This is all fallout. No,
you did.
You lie like a rug.
I do not.
You
never.
How dare you impugn my honor?
How dare you?
This is all fallout from last week, where we just casually mentioned how
you can't
hilarious.
drink a gallon of milk.
Yeah, it's like biologically impossible. I'm pretty sure
People have done it.
I don't know. And now all at once, he's like, you should totally drink a gallon of milk live on the internet.
You told me you would do it.
Yeah, because I have no shame, not because I think it's a good idea. Like, I don't care.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway.
a friend of ours was like, oh, yeah, just put a six-pack in front of him and see who blinks first. Yeah, I know you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Looking at you, stats.
Uh-huh. It wasn't stats. Not stats. It was a certain friend of ours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh. So anyway. So we always talk about, like, it's the reference we make a lot that, like, we initially got into YouTube basically on a bet. Like, we thought that it was going to be substantially easier to make daily content. Yes, Scott won. Got it. There you done. We thought that it would be substantially easier to make daily unedited content than turns out it actually is. So that's like our story for how we got into YouTube. But, I'm always interested in the hows and the whys of how other people got into YouTube. Like, what was the motivation and kind of what your initial experience was with, dabbling in, getting into YouTube. Because for the most part, most people aren't professional photographers, videographers that decide that YouTube is like the next logical platform. Most people, it's just a random, like, I should try that sometime. Yep. So what's your story, sir?
That's an awesome question. And you know what? It's so funny how it ties back to Hangouts, which is what I am a top contributor for. Hangouts is what really got me into the YouTube scene because Hangouts deposited on this thing called YouTube. I knew about YouTube, but every time you did a Hangout, it ended up there. How easy is that? There's no production. There's no nothing that you had to do. You didn't have to read. It just ends up there. That was so cool to me, and that's what got me going. And I built a rapport with a bunch of people that we used to just to sit there and do Hangouts. We'd have up to 10 people in there just talking and chatting and learning about people. And what ended up happening was I really fell in love with the YouTube side. And I said, we actually started playing games inside our hangouts. We just for the fun of it, because I'm a game player. Okay, I have a closet with 130 something games, 136 different games.
We're gonna no.
We're gonna come back to that.
You're in good company for that. Yeah,
I assure you of that.
All right. Okay. So I love games. So we just started playing. We just started playing different games. We do a drawing game. We draw right on the screen, basically a Pictionary type thing. We started doing all this stuff. And one of my buddies, Scott Scodecroft, who's in our community, said, you should do this live. You should just do this live. Just let everybody else. So we started doing that plus word game that you're very familiar with that I do on Friday. And we started doing that live, and the audience, Miss Sheila, who you guys know very
Miss
well.
Sheila.
Miss Sheila is totally in the audience, started giving points to the audience. Has nothing to do with the game, but they started building their own game on the outside, and it's just become a phenomenon with that. So this is the third year. We're coming into our third year of playing this game live on YouTube. So, so more and more, I wanted to do something to make it different. And then because I help so much, I help people. It's not about me being the top on, even with the top contributors, because they rank us, like the top 16 have it on each different thing. That doesn't matter to me. I just want to help people. So what I started doing is I said, I'm going to start creating videos. And I bought all the software. It became a great hobby for me. So that's kind of the way it all kind of came into fruition.
So I gotta come back to the board games thing, because this is for us being a technical, like, nerd tech channel. I have been a long time super dork with games like I played D&D a lot when I was in high school. I used to play Magic the Gathering. I mean, like games in general outside of video games have been a staple of my childhood for a long time. Fast forward, and now it's like the modern resurgence of the board game with all these kind of indie small shops that are putting out all these really cool games.
True.
So it's not just, Sorry and Scrabble and Monopoly and stuff like that anymore. There's some legitimately cool games out there. So I'm interested in what board games you're playing. What are your favorites? Let's dork out about that for a minute, man.
All right. Well, my all-time favorite, because I could play it with my kids, was Yahtzee. Very simple, but I love Yahtzee. There's a game. It's so funny. My wife, we're cleaning out our dead weight, let's say. So we're getting rid of some games, and it's so funny. She had them all sitting out in front of my area out here in the basement. And I started saying, oh, no, we got to keep this one. No, we got to keep this one. It's so funny. Like, I can let the Trivial Pursuit ones go and all that kind of stuff, because now you can do trivia online and all that kind of stuff. Heck, the freaking Google Home will do trivia.
Yeah, it does.
So you can play games there. So I tell you, one of my all-time favorites, and I did this with my kids, and I taught my kids this one, hands down, is Risk. Mm-hmm. I love Risk.
Amen. Preach.
And she was gonna get rid of this one. You might not even know this one. You might not, but I loved it. Stratego.
Oh, yeah. Stratego. Yeah.
Do you remember Stratego? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I loved that game, and she had that in the list to go, and I mean in the pile to go, and I was like, oh no,
no. What are you doing? What are you doing with Stratego?
What's coming back? But seriously, everybody for Christmas and birthdays and everything else, they knew I loved games, and we always played it. So if it was like a big party or Easter or something like that, I have games like Quick Wit. I mean, just games that you've never heard of, just a lot of things like that. Tri-Bond. There's tons of them. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's so many that are out there that, I mean, a really fun one is called Factor Crap.
Yeah. I've heard of that. Which is
awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
I've heard that one. I've been tempted to pick it up. It looks like it would be fun.
It's actually a lot of fun. A lot of fun to do that one too. And Taboo. My wife loves Taboo. She's a huge Taboo fan and that kind of stuff. But I like I said, the old, classic, simple. When you talk Clue, I could play Clue right now, no problem.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
I love Risk.
Love it.
Give me
Yeah,
risk.
your
I-
wife is
Yeah.
a Risk
I agree.
maniac.
Yeah.
She is a very big fan of Risk.
Fact.
Because you play for 4 days,
Yeah.
so that's the only issue.
Give me Monopoly. I love give me all your money. I'll take all your properties. Give me all your money. I love Monopoly. People are like, I don't
love
want to play.
ruining
You're so ruthless. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me your money. This is business.
All right,
the
I'm
history
gonna
of the game.
All
it's
right,
not
I
supposed
got
to
to say, you're probably the banker then.
Who's the banker?
Are you the
You're
banker?
probably always the banker. You're always the banker.
There it is. Yep.
Because the banker, for whatever reason, always ends up with all the money. I never understood that.
It's called theft. I don't know if you know this.
I believe if you're the banker, it's embezzlement.
Okay, we'll go with that. Insider trading.
Yeah.
I know all the secrets.
So I am a big fan of. So when I was in college, I used to get together with a group of like-minded guys. The girls were never interested in playing this, and it's very easy to understand why. It's a game called Diplomacy. It's a really, really old game, but basically it's basically a tabletop war simulator from World War I. It sounds super boring, but it's like a very, very boiled down version of Risk, where there's there's only 2 units. There's a land unit and a sea unit, and there's like spots on the map that these units occupy. But the real shtick, like the reason that I was just obsessed with this game, is that the way that you plan out the moves that your armies take every turn involves there's like a 20-minute break in between each turn wherein the players go off and actually carry out real world diplomacy. So like if I'm playing Russia and he's playing Turkey, I'm going over to Turkey like, hey man, look, I know for a fact that England is about to invade you on the Northern Territory. So you leave your dudes there. I'll swing around from this side. Here's the deal though. When you go back, I just want this territory.
No.
You attack England and I'll take this. And then what it turns into is this giant backstabbing game where all along Russia was working with England just to screw me. If you've
That
got
makes a
the
lot
right-
of sense about some of the conversations we've had outside.
Yes.
Okay, get it.
If you have the right group of friends, it is intensely fun. But boy, it puts the friendship to the test. There's been a couple of times where we had to go, for the sake of our friendship, we got to stop playing. But it's a great game. We also play a lot of Settlers of Catan, or just Catan as it's known now. It's a big favorite of mine. And there's some kind of more modern new games that are offshoots from. There's a company called Wizards of the Coast, which made Magic the Gathering. They now own Dungeons and Dragons IPs as well. So they put out a game called Betrayal at House on the Hill, which is, I'm so glad I did this. Nobody else would, if I would have tried to pitch to like you or my wife or Stats, hey, let's play Dungeons and Dragons, nobody would have done it. But Betrayal at House on the Hill is basically like D&D light. So you get them playing this like very easy to understand board game, and turns out kind of behind the scenes, it's a lot of like D&D mechanics. One of my all-time favorites. Yeah,
That's cool.
Those are my favorite games. So that's.
It's interesting what got me interested in games though, because I don't know about you guys, but when I was in like, I guess it was like middle school or junior high, whichever you want to call it. I'm showing my age, but I think they had chess club. They had a chess club. So I was really into that, and I was into Star Trek at the same time. So I actually bought a 3-dimensional chess set and actually learned to play it really well. I'll give you a little trivia here, a little challenge, or to anybody, not a challenge anymore because I'm too old, but I have never been beaten.
What?
Oh, man.
What?
I have never been beaten in chess, ever.
Wow.
I've been stalemated. We've been stalemated.
And
but I have never been beaten.
I want to be better at chess than what I am.
I can't.
But
Give me
I'm
checkers.
realistic about
Got checkers all day long, baby.
I played.
But you know what? I will say this. I can't do it now. When my son, he got upset, threw the whole board up and all that kind of stuff. He was so, he could never win, and he was so close, and we ended up in a stalemate because I kept going to the same. And it just frustrated him. He probably could have won that because I would have given in at some point. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm getting too old. My brain doesn't work like it used to. I'm going to stop with that record and stay there. So now I don't play.
He's the Floyd Mayweather of chess. Quit while you're undefeated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quit while you're undefeated, man. I had a buddy who had it was a circular chessboard. That was the most interesting chessboard I ever played on, where it wasn't a square, it was a circle, so you could literally move from like one corner all the way, one side like up and over this way. It was so super weird.
I'm so glad you caught that corner thing.
Yeah, because I know that you were gonna
house
light
you
me
with that.
on fire.
Oh yeah, I was. Oh yeah, what's the degrees of the corner in the circle? Just tell me about that. Say more about that, Milkman.
Well, that's a thing in 3-dimensional chess. You could be in check and not even know it for like 4 different moves. Then you're like, do you realize you have me in check about an hour ago?
Well, I struggle with that with 2-dimensional chess on a square board,
Right.
let alone anything more complicated than that. So yeah, that would get me. But I love watching chess.
Great.
It's very interesting to watch.
Oh, I won't watch it.
Oh man, I love watching it.
They all move too fast. They're like, slam it, and then, ha, ha. They hit the clock,
Yeah.
and then, what? Like, I don't even know what that means. It's like they're just smacking the clock.
The
Clock, I don't get it.
The clock management game is like it's like when you play professional billiards and you actually have to call pockets and stuff.
Yeah.
Both of those. That's a level of play
I can do. I can
above
do.
me.
I can do.
I don't
the
really
full
know.
thing. I beat
play
stats
slop.
on the regular.
I play slop.
I beat stats on the regular.
It's like a basketball
Can't
shot
wait till
clock.
he actually
That makes
catches-
sense.
I can't wait till the delay catches up to him. He's gonna be like, "Wait a minute!" I'm just gonna wait for the look on his face.
man.
Like, just I love it. It's coming. Like I can see it. It's just a few seconds behind. He's like, "Oh, the
Or he's just going to on purpose not acknowledge it.
No, he'll acknowledge it
Oh.
because you'll be able to see the look on his face. Like it will suck all the joy out of it. You have what else are we asking? I don't have the doc. You have the doc.
I do. So what is your like of all of the
Yeah, there it is.
of the type of content that you make? Like, do you have a favorite type of video or a favorite manufacturer that you've worked with over the years?
Besides Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Bonus.
See, boy, okay, that narrows it down. No, I don't. You mean like what tools do I like to use? What is that? What you're saying when I make the videos, or
Well,
what are
I
you
mean,
asking
I
exactly?
didn't know if there
or-
was a like a favorite type of content that you make. Like for us, we
Oh.
enjoy
Like reviews
Yeah.
and
some of the more
Yeah.
artistic stuff that we make is our favorite stuff to make. Like what's your favorite type of content?
My favorite thing when I actually love live streaming the best. And the reason is because I get people in the audience that can participate and ask great questions. So to me, I like the live part, but as far as creating a video, I see a gallon of milk. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it, but I saw it.
Oh, she
Anyway,
wanted to-
I'm sorry, I got
You wanna
it.
know?
my wife snuck downstairs because my kids drank all the milk, and so I have a refrigerator in the basement where I keep beer and milk. And so she snuck downstairs. She just got home, snuck downstairs to get milk so that she could have cereal. And Scott thought
And
she
I
was
took it.
grabbing
Love
it.
it.
I took it
For
because
me.
I thought it was a joke. Like,
Anyway,
I love it.
shows all over the board.
So, my thing, what I like to do, my favorite thing is when I can come up with something that I just shared, that I just learned, that I don't think people know. I don't know that
Yeah.
they don't know it, but I think this is cool. And then to get the response, there's something really cool about that, to get in the response in YouTube that they say, oh my God, that helped me a bunch, or this was awesome. So
man,
that to me probably is
I could not resonate with that more. Like that's been probably the most rewarding thing. Like out of all the dumb stuff that we've tried through all of the different versions of the channel and the live show and previous channels that we've run and all the content, it's the building of the community, and then when you get people that are like, oh my gosh, like this legitimately helped. That's arguably why we started partnering to work on the same type of content is for that reason alone.
100%.
Yeah.
100% with you. Yep. Absolutely.
So that's fantastic. It's always nice to have. It's amazing how many people kind of share that same mentality of like nobody that we've talked to yet has said, "Oh, I did it for the money." Like nobody gets into YouTube for the money.
Well, you don't make it a
Yeah.
lot. Like you just don't make it,
Yeah.
and that's you.
Well, you guys are actually up there where you have a lot of views and things like that. I don't even have that. I mean, my most watched video, well, I can't say that. My most watched one was pretty good, but like creating a YouTube live event, I think has 9.5K. That's it. I mean, but there's people out there that they get that when they put it.
That ain't us.
No, that ain't.
For sure.
I know,
For sure.
no, I know. But you do have some with a couple
Yeah.
thousand that you
Yeah.
get. I mean, you get that. So I don't. And actually, you have super chat that's available to you because obviously you put enough content out there that to keep those hours view watch.
I wish you did though. Like I hate that they took that away because I have routinely wanted to be like, how could I like? I guess you don't do Patreon, but you
no, I don't.
Man, I wish there was something that we could do with that.
This is I
this
always
gets into that thing is like because you're
like
doing
the insider YouTube stuff.
Yeah, like because you're making the content
yeah.
for the right reasons. It's one of those things like I know what goes into that. I wish there was like I want to donate to this person.
Yeah.
I guess it could be like a PayPal.me. I guess,
Yeah.
but like
yeah, you can put that in your description. That's legal, so you can do that. I know some people that do that, but to me, here's my deal. My thing is I want to help people. I know, like you just said, you're not making a whole lot of money off of that, and you probably won't. I mean, even if you did the 4,000 hours that they said, unless you get some significant super chats and things like that, that's where you could. That's where you could.
Even when you super chat, Google takes 30 or 40% right off the top.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Yeah.
Like so, I mean, Google's going to get their cut, which I get. I just wish there was like. I know Patreon does the same thing, and then PayPal has that one link. Is like for creators, like you're literally helping people. And it's like, man, I wish I could just like we don't live close. I wish I could hand you, like I wish I could hand you like $5, $10, $20 and be like, thank you for just being awesome.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would love to do.
The not having super chat for small creators is one that I don't understand because arguably the small creators are the ones that need it the most. Yeah.
Need it. Yeah. Great point.
Which is the thing that I actually like the most about, I mean, YouTube has kind of suffered a little bit from some PR flubs over the last year plus. But seeing how the community as a whole, especially the bigger YouTubers, have kind of come full circle and started this whole no small creator movement to really embrace and lean into the fact that, the big creators all started small. So arguably, like, the reason that everybody comes to YouTube, it wouldn't be there if not for the people people like you that are you're starting out small, you're doing everything you can, you're just putting out content, just trying to help people, you're doing it for all the right reasons. And it's a tall mountain to climb by yourself. Yep. So yeah.
Great point. Excellent point. But I'm happy to help people. So if people, like I said, it's so much reward to me to get that comment that says, you know what, this really helped me out. I didn't know you could even do this. That's enough for me. That's enough for me personally. But
anybody who's in the comment section, if you haven't checked out Michael's channel, you can check the description for this video down below, and you will see links to his channel.
Yes.
You should absolutely go check him out. If you like what he's doing, you should give him a subscribe, give him some thumbs up, help the guy out. Let's see if we can rally some of our audience, even though we've
really screwed up the live chat.
Screwed up the live chat, screwed up the show, and also we've already stolen a bunch of your viewers too, because Miss Sheila was originally yours too.
Andrew was yours.
And Andrew, yeah. There's a bunch of people now, so.
Yeah, sorry.
So anybody who's not checking them out, go check out the channel.
It's all about collaboration, right? I mean, that's what we're doing right now. We're collaborating, and it is fun. And I love watching you guys. I love your banter. I love when you guys go through your stuff. More than happy to come on. I love it. It's awesome. And Scott, whenever we meet, we have a beer together or whatever, all that kind of stuff. And that's what it's all about. The community part of it is just yeah, I know. Very soon. That's right. Very soon. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate what you do. I love the stuff that you do. Greg, you and I will probably be chatting soon because I really want. I'm thinking about getting the Google Wi-Fi stuff for my house, so I want to ask you some questions.
No.
So selfishly, I'm going to reach out to you, whatever. But anyway,
I mean, you're welcome to. I mean, if you want to ask some questions now, I mean, I don't have a problem. I mean,
it's up to you.
It fits in the theme of talking about technology, so that's kind of like the purpose behind our shows. We really just kind of want to foster interesting conversations about tech. So, I mean, if you want to talk about it now, we can do that. If you want to take it offline, I'm happy to do that too. Whatever you want, sir.
No, I would love it because this is recorded. I can go back and
there you go.
Oh God, here we go. Give Greg a big head,
please.
No, I really need something. I need that mesh because I have the situation in our house. We have a downstairs basement and that's where the internet is, down here next to my computer, so I can run a wire to it. So it's wired. But Wi-Fi in the house, it has to go penetrate the upstairs, and then it has to go all the way to the other end of the house. And I'm not talking a big house; it's a ranch style house. So, but it has to go to the other end, and that's where, like, my bedroom is. So all the devices in there, the signal's not great. I've tried an extender, which it works okay, but it's not great. So I'm thinking Wi-Fi is my solution, but I don't know the answer to that. I would love to hear some feedback on it.
Talking tech with Scott. Are you ready for this?
Oh, I can't wait for this.
I feel like I can answer this one. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, so one of the first things that you need to do is you need to take your router and you need to locate that thing in, like, basically the dead center of the home. So the cool thing is if you get Google Wi-Fi, it doesn't look like crap, because a lot of times you'll hide that thing in the closet because it just looks terrible. So what you want to do is run the Wi-Fi puck, the main one that's hardwired into whatever your internet would be, and put that thing in the middle of your house, right? So you have it that way. And then you would need a puck basically in your bedroom. That's one, and then kind of one on the other end as well. Or you could put one down in the basement. So if you have three, you would have the main one, the one in the bedroom, and then probably one in the basement that you could then hardwire into to hardwire your computer. That's the first thing I would do.
Yeah, I overall, I would say you're correct. I think the only thing that I might disagree with a little bit on is the idea that you have to, with a mesh network, I don't think that it's as important that you move the router to the middle of the home anymore. So that was the traditional advice that people would give. Look, everything else is spot on, man.
Okay, that's pretty good for a guy that's dumb.
Yeah, well, emphasis
that's
on
awesome.
dumb. Everything that was traditional advice we would give for like a single router solution. Move it in the middle of the house because whatever, it makes the most sense. You know, basically Wi-Fi radiates from whatever your router is in basically an invisible bubble. So if you move the bubble to the middle of your home, you're going to cover more of the house.
He's a bubble.
The nice thing about modern mesh systems, something like Google Wi-Fi, there's basically 3 systems that are on my short list of, if you're looking for mesh wireless systems, check out one of these 3. One of them is Google Wi-Fi. It is a fantastic system. It is, of all of them, it is the cheapest, even the 3-pack, and I think is like $279. Is it $279?
It was $279 last time I checked.
It'll fluctuate.
Yeah, they had it on special, I think, the end of school or something for $220.
That's what I saw.
But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so you can pick it up on sale for pretty cheap. It is the cheapest one of them. It's I don't want to say it's old hardware. That's not a knock against it. It just happens to have like a previous generation Wi-Fi chip in it. So basically, you're not going to get the fastest of the fast speeds. But for a person that wants to just set up a mesh system and have it just work, it's really hard to go wrong with Google Wi-Fi. It is one of the easiest systems to set up. It is dirt simple to manage.
Yep.
And Google does a great job of there's a lot of AI learning that goes into this whole thing called beamforming, which is basically how do the pucks individually talk to themselves. Google uses machine learning to basically figure out how to modulate some of those antennas so that you get a stronger link in between the pucks, which just improves your Wi-Fi connection. So for your use case, exactly what you're talking about, where you have Wi-Fi on one end of the house or in the basement, and on the other end of the house you have terrible or no coverage whatsoever, that is 100% the use case that a mesh network is designed for. So yeah, you're spot on.
Boom. Hit him with that knowledge.
Helping people. But yeah,
all right, let me ask you this then real quick. Because I do have, okay, so I have a wire that's run all the way into my house up to the furthest office in our house, which is across from the bedroom. So it's hardwired. I have that wire. I have my computer downstairs hardwired. I have a smart TV that's hardwired. And then I have a hub for my Philips hub, which is hardwired. All 4 of those are hardwired. Would I need a switch to go with that? Because I think there's only one plug-in in each one of those different things, if I'm not mistaken.
So
is that correct? Ethernet.
Yeah.
Ethernet
So for Google Wi-Fi, there are 2 ports in each puck. Now, the main puck that you use, that's going to be, there's basically, if you buy the 3-pack, one of them is going to serve as like the master. It's going to be the main router of the 3, and then the other 2 are what you would call satellite points. So for the main router, you would have one that's plugged into your cable modem or what have you, and then the other open port, you can do whatever you want to with it. You can plug in TV, computer, whatever you want. If you need to extend the number of ports that you have right there by that main router, then switch is definitely what you want to do. The Google Wi-Fi puck is gigabit Ethernet, so you would want to grab a gigabit switch. Those are pretty cheap anymore. There's no particular brand that you have to buy. There's no real particular features that you have to buy. You can buy a cheap, 4-port, 8-port switch, whatever you need. Just make sure that you buy enough ports for whatever you need in the area.
What I need. Yeah.
Now, when
exactly.
you get to those satellite points, you've got those 2 Ethernet ports. Even though they're labeled, not to get dorky for everybody, but they're labeled LAN and WAN. So one of them would be, this goes to the outside internet, this goes to the internal network that you want to connect to. On the satellite points, you can use them both for LAN connections, so your hardwired connections that you're talking about. So the cool thing is, what that means is that Google's smart enough that when you plug in like your computer and your TV to one of those satellite points, Google Wi-Fi will treat that as a wireless bridge in between your satellite point and the main router, and basically tunnel all that Ethernet traffic back over to the main router and then out to the internet. There's a little bit of latency there, so streaming usually works pretty well, but if you have, depending on the construction materials used in your home, if it's really thick, really old, like if you've got a lot of concrete or a lot of really dense wood, that's going to affect how well the signal makes its way, propagates through your house. So if you have a poor connection in between your satellite point and your main router, that may affect streaming. So the advice is to, if possible, run an Ethernet cable in between the main router and your satellite points, but that's purely optional.
Okay.
I literally have no idea what he's talking about.
I
got nothing.
This is what gets really hard when you start talking about networking stuff.
I got nothing.
People will ask a deceptively simple question, and it's like, well, I mean, yeah, but
I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
It gets complicated quick.
I'm sitting here going like, man, he's saying a lot of words right now.
I'm making a ton of words. Like I'm not. So to reach out to the comments real quick, so Mark brings up, he ran a 100-foot Ethernet cable in the attic from router to a second router. That's effectively what that is. It's a wired backhaul, and it's basically just a way of
literally no idea.
Extending your wire.
Yeah, it's oh gosh, okay. I'm gonna try and explain this simply. When you go to a mesh, one of the problems that you run into is that there's only so much bandwidth, there's only so much speed that you're gonna get out of that mesh system, and if you've got the Google Wi-Fi is 3 individual pucks, so there's a portion of that total speed that you have that gets divided up as sort of an administrative channel. And that's called a backhaul. So that's how Google basically coordinates all that machine learning stuff has to happen on that administrative channel. So like 30-ish% or so of your total bandwidth will go off to this backhaul channel, and then the rest of the remaining bandwidth goes off to your clients. If you have the Ethernet cable plugged into all of your satellite points on the main router, you don't have to worry about that. That's all stuff that happens via that hardwired. So you just get more speed to your client. For most people, though, this doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I have, I don't even know. What are you doing?
My Pixel is frozen.
Oh, that's fine. I have like 4 or 5 servers, a couple of desktops, a couple of laptops, a bunch of phones, a bunch of IoT stuff.
We get it. You like stuff.
I got a bunch of nerd stuff here. I've never once maxed out the Google Wi-Fi connection. So Google Wi-Fi, Amplify HD, and the TP-Link Deco M9 are all my recommended systems for mesh networks. If you have kids and you're concerned about parental controls, keeping an eye on the types of websites that they're going to or stuff like that, the TP-Link Deco M9 is my recommendation. It's a great system. It's a 2-piece. All the other ones are 3 pieces. But you cannot go wrong with Google Wi-Fi. It's a fantastic system.
Okay, thanks. I really, really do appreciate that. That's all, because that, and I feel kind of selfish that I that I kind of took that and ran with it, but I really did want to chat with you on it and kind of get. No, I get it, but at the same time, that's really cool because I really need to do something. Because like my light switch won't work sometimes, but then all of a sudden the internet works and the Wi-Fi works. I'm like, okay. And I know, Scott, didn't you say, if I'm not mistaken, I heard you say that you wired your whole new house, correct? I mean, pretty much everything. Or someone did. Someone did. I don't mean
was there new stuff wired? Yeah. Did I do it?
You told him what to do.
Okay, part
the
of
house
it.
was. The
Okay,
house,
part of it.
the house was wired.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I wired my house.
You did?
Yeah. All look.
Here's
all
a
the
trophy.
Ethernet. No, I'm just saying, like it's not that hard to do. And
Look,
had you
it may not be-
asked me to do it, I would have done it for you.
I absolutely,
Yeah.
totally agree. But you have been with me when I thought I turned the electric off and very much didn't turn the electric off and wore that scar all the way up to almost the ticker
Yeah.
a couple times.
What's funny about that is like
Ooh.
I laughed about that. And then
You did it to yourself.
well,
Like a week later.
I was say I've done it to myself, and I also there's literally an exploded TV right behind Stats over there from where I was too lazy to go downstairs and shut off the electric, and I'm like, I've been hit by one time before, it's not that bad, so I'm switching out electrical outlets while the lines are live, and shorted the hot and the ground together, and it blew up my TV.
Did.
So I had to go buy a new TV. Whoops.
All right, Michael.
Yeah, that's
hit him
good.
with your socials. Hit him
Yes.
where you can find you. The floor is yours.
I don't have any of that. I just turned all that off and walked away, but I'm fine. Just put it
It's
there
in the description.
That's
Come on,
fine.
man.
Okay, so
I mean,
there
we
you
might
go.
have
There
been
you go. So
amateur
that's
hour
all.
earlier in the show, but that is definitely in the description.
We got you. Yeah, so if you're interested in
I'm just
checking out any
messing.
of Michael's stuff, you can check the comments down below. We have all of his stuff. We've got channel links. We've got, Instagram.
Tinkering with Tech. Is it
with
at
Tech.
the H&M show? At the H&M show? I think.
No,
Well,
Instagram.
it's actually
Tinkering with Tech.
Tinkering
Yep.
with Tech now, and Twitter is at the H&M
There you go.
show. Yes, Twitter is at the H&M show. I have not switched that over because I didn't know how to do all that in the account.
Soon enough.
And I was just like, okay,
Soon
whatever. But eventually it'll all be changing over because we changed over the name and everything. But thank you so much for
Brother, we
having me.
appreciate you.
It really means a lot. It really does. It's so
I,
awesome. I love the collab. I love.
I'm
you
looking
doing this
forward to
stuff,
seeing
so.
you in a few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, listen, you do have to do this. You have to promise me before the end of the year that you'll come on the game
Yeah,
show.
look, we were in the
You just have to
comments
come-
playing. Did you see us a couple weeks ago?
I know, but I
I
want you
finally
on.
understand
One
the
Friday
game.
night.
Yeah.
I had to watch your game like
one
3
Friday
times.
Night, one Friday night, I gotta have you on.
Can
I
we
gotta
be
have you on the
teammates?
game. One Friday night. Absolutely.
Oh.
You do whatever you want. You might fight too much though. You might fight too much. No,
That's not
absolutely.
cheating.
Are you kidding me? Whatever you
Dude,
want.
we were killing it in the
Hey, you know-
comments,
I was
though.
pretty confident.
We were killing it.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
you know, Ben's been on twice now. Two weeks in a row.
Oh,
Ben's been
okay.
on.
Was Ben on there tomorrow?
I'm just saying. No, he's not on tomorrow. No.
Now the competitive streak in me's kicking in, and I'm like, you got to have Ben on there at the same time as us so we can crush him.
Yeah, and Greg will drink milk.
And I'll drink milk the whole time.
I will gladly do that. You just have to promise me before the end of the year that you
All
come
right,
on
we
the
will
show.
do that.
We'll
It's
do
on
it,
the
yeah.
internet now, so everything's true.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thanks,
Michael
guys.
Daniels.
Appreciate you.
And
Check him out.
gentlemen, Thank you.
Thanks,
thank
man.
you,
I appreciate
thank you,
it.
brother. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
We're transitioned over here. You do the thing.
Boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka. I got to figure out the Zoom stuff. Oh, there. Mike is still on my
Yeah,
screen, so
yeah.
I still see it. But no, the internet can't hear him. But... Love you, Michael. Mean it.
Let's dig through some of these comments. Though. There's been a handful of them out there. I
Oh,
just wanna
God,
go
my ear.
back in. You're right there, Pumpkin.
No, God, dude, today.
Michelle says, "Wait, Stats is there? Hello, Stats.
That
I
is a
do hope
fellow Memphian.
Memphian.
Stats has headphones on right now, so he can't hear us.
He's,
And they're
he's-
like the dopest headphones. I can hear nothing.
and they're turned up so loud I can hear it. So he
Oh,
for
that's
sure
what
can't
that
hear it.
sound is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what that sound is.
Oh, I feel like I need to take advantage of the fact that they're very high.
You're a terrible person.
Old Man River, that old man river. That was dope. High end of mediocre.
Whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it.
Good. I have to turn the headphones up. Right now again.
And there it is.
And welcome back to the show, Stats.
So,
Boom shakalaka.
so I did want to.
I'm sweating.
What was supposed to be kind of part of the opening monologue, I did want to like touch base on your Fortnite comment because I also am a little irritated with Fortnite and also Google too.
So you hit him with yours because yours
Yeah.
is a hot, spicy one. That's actually a legitimate reason to say that they suck.
So, I'm irritated with both Epic Games, which makes Fortnite, and Google itself. If you follow me on Twitter, I had a tweet about this earlier in the week where I kind of mentioned like just the basic like 140 character rundown of what the story is and why it's just so stupid. So.
Amen.
Short version is this. If you don't know what Fortnite is, it is basically
a stupid game.
The world's most popular game at this point.
Also
Literally everybody's playing it. It's on every single platform, including, which is what's rolling out now, Android. The beta for Android is out now. However, Epic, again, makers of Fortnite, decided they were going to make a business decision and not release the game on the Google Play Store because Google charges 30% of every transaction.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because we only get 60 or 70% of super chats. But I mean, Google's got to get theirs. But don't they do things to kind of protect?
I see where you're going with
that's
Scott.
what we call a segue in the business.
So, yeah, part of the money that Google collects, basically Google also offers services. So, probably the most impactful one to you as an end user is antivirus stuff. So they'll scan, if you upload an app and say, I'm going to release this on the store, they will basically scan the app and say, hey, this app is good to go. Why is this important? Here's the thing. There's a security researcher that discovered that the Forenite installer, the Forenite loader, which, by the way, again, you don't download via the Google store. You have to go to Epic Games website. You have to go to Fortnite.com or whatever and download the Android package on your phone to be able to play. Can be used to basically hijack your phone. They can install malware, viruses, all kinds of nasty stuff on your phone. That's a problem. Now, what most people don't know is that when you're talking about vulnerabilities in the IT space, there's this thing called a disclosure period. So security researcher finds a vulnerability. They go back and they tell the company, hey man, I found a problem with your code. You're going to have to fix it. And then there's some kind of talking about what the problem is. And then the company has an opportunity to fix that and release a patch before the security researchers go public with that. That's important because that's how you get the fixes before the bad guys know that there's a problem that they can exploit. That's an important thing. The problem is Google decided to basically release the vulnerability 7 days after it was first disclosed. Whoops. So Epic didn't even have the chance to really patch the problem and get that out there to all the Android phones. Epic was originally asking for like 90 days to patch and fix this thing, just because not everybody plays Fortnite all day, every day. So they wanted 90 days just to be able to catch the widest net, or cast the widest net possible to catch the most users with this update. And Google disclosed it in 7 days. Now, this would not have been a problem if Epic went through Google Play, because it would have been automatically updated. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they're both jerks. Epic, you're a jerk for basically putting profits in front of consumers, their protection, and deciding you wanted that extra 30%. And Google, you're a big jerk for politicizing a vulnerability that puts your consumers at risk, just so that you can go, well, you know, this is why you should use the Google Play Store. Irritates me.
Which one irritates you more?
Honestly, the Google one.
Really?
Yeah. The Google one, definitely, because that's pure propaganda. That's pure politicization of a crappy situation. Like, that's
how fast do you think that I'm going to throw this out there. Totally going to throw it out there.
Yeah.
By publicizing it within 7 days, I would assume that they would, like, the conversation would be like, I discovered a vulnerability.
Sure.
Fix it. I don't, you're talking, I'm very dumb, so keep this in mind, dumb guy.
Yeah.
I would assume that they probably figured out how to fix the vulnerability probably within a few days. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the nature of the vulnerability, it can happen pretty quickly.
Okay.
This is something that I'm betting, because it's beta software. Fortnite is still in beta on Android. Because it's beta, I'm willing to bet that it's one of those like, oh, hey, good catch. Yeah, we'll get that fixed up. The time usually comes down to they need to write the fix, they need to test it more than anything,
right,
and then they need to distribute it, and then it's just a matter of time for that patch to get picked up by everybody.
Okay, so again, theoretically, they had 7 days, right, before Google was jerks. They write it in 3. They're like, test it, da-da-da-da-da. It's done within 5.
Yeah.
If Google were to just say, hey, there's a huge vulnerability. If you have downloaded this on Andrew, also Android,
okay, fair enough.
you're going to need to go back to Fortnite's website and get the latest because, it's very vulnerable. Couldn't they theoretically been protecting Android devices by saying, no, seriously, you need to go back and do that because I told you much faster rather than wait the 90.
Yeah.
So couldn't you say, like, no, seriously, I told them in 7 because they have to come to you, and we already know that it's done. So theoretically, couldn't they have been protecting the consumer more by forcing them to go to Fortnite's website?
So here's the problem with that. 7 days would barely be enough time for them to really understand the nature of the vulnerability, write code, test it, verify that the fix even works in the first place. Because they would also, part of this is you write the fix, you implement it, you patch, and then you have to go back and understand what the vulnerability was exploiting, and then make sure that not only does the fix not break the game or not do anything worse, but then did it actually fix the vulnerability in the first place? So it's the testing, it's the recursion testing that takes quite a while. 7 days is really not enough time for Epic Games to be able to do that due diligence. So what Google did was just artificially put pressure on them to get the patch out, which may or may not make things worse. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is what you're talking about, Google going out there and saying like, hey, there's a thing, you need to go out there and patch. That happens anyway. With any vulnerability that's out in the wild, as soon as the patch is out there, after the disclosure period has already passed, and after the vendor has had a chance to write the patch, test the patch, release the patch, that conversation happens. The only difference is Google leveraged the time to say, this wouldn't have happened if you were on the Google Play Store. That's my problem. That is fundamentally my problem.
Breach of protocol.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Because there's no legal requirement for them to do it, but it is.
You got some buffering.
It's universally a D move.
I'm not disagreeing here, but again, I guess where I'm coming from is the idea that there is an app that is openly not following what 99.5% of other apps do because they're upset with the terms, which 30% is a lot. Look, I get it. 30% is a lot.
Yeah.
I think it should be less. I don't know what you get for that 30, but I don't want to pay for it either.
Yeah.
But the idea is isn't that kind of a D move too?
I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
So
it's basically it's D move to D move, and the loser in all of this is the consumer.
I do fundamentally
from 100%. Like the loser in all of it is the consumer.
I agree
both sides of the house.
I agree with that, but my argument is that why Google is the bigger D bag in all of this is the vulnerability has a much bigger impact. Much bigger impact. So disclosing the vulnerability before the patch is ready to go, before it's been tested, before it's out there for users to be able to download, specifically for something that is basically the world's biggest game, that's a big wide net. And what happens is that vulnerability gets on your phone. What's on your phone? Everything. So the potential impact is enormous, and that's my problem with Google disclosing it. It's just the disclosure. Now, if Google had waited and said, even if they just said, look, there's a big vulnerability in Fortnite, you're going to want to keep your eyes on it, get ready for this patch or whatever. Like if they would have, if it wasn't just a straight up disclosure of the vulnerability itself, maybe there's some wiggle room there. But Google basically did themselves no favors, in my opinion. And this is purely from the technical aspect, just because I understand how the vulnerability disclosure pieces work. Google did themselves no favors by doing that. They didn't win anybody over to their cause. They didn't do no evil. They didn't uphold that core Google tenet of do no evil. Boom! Drops mic. Ah!
I guess I have a fundamental problem. For me, I have a fundamental problem is like, as a consumer, I don't really care about the 30% that you do or you don't get for your app.
I agree.
I don't care. Like, I'm sorry. I just don't. Like, so you've essentially, I'm taking the other. They put me. You have put me at risk because you want 30% more.
Yeah.
So you should have taken that 30% and done better about either not having vulnerabilities or finding them yourself and fixing it. So like, I don't say that Google isn't at fault. I totally see what you're saying, and I agree with you.
But you think Epic is the bigger D-bag in the two?
I don't look. They're both.
Yeah.
They're both not well. But I think the idea is by saying I am going to completely bypass what I get from the App Store.
Yeah.
Because they're doing it to Apple too. Let's not get it twisted. It's not like they're just sticking it to Google.
No.
They're doing it to Google and Apple. So for me is they are putting the consumer at risk from both sides of the house because they want the additional 60%. I don't know what it is for Apple. I'm going to guess 30.
I think
it's probably
30
relative.
is
30 is a pretty good guess. So they want those 30% more because they feel like they can do it better. Like what does the 30% get them? That's my question. Is like if I go directly to Fortnite and Epic, what do I get? Like by going directly to them, I get what?
You get the game.
I get the game, but what? But when I go through the app stores, what do I get?
I don't get the game.
Well, no. I know. I get that. Like if they would have put the app out there, what am I getting by going through the app store? I'm getting some of the protections that I know by if I download a crap game that has malware. You get where I'm going. The idea is like I think they're both at fault, but the idea is Epic. If you feel that you can do it better than them because you get the 30% more, then you need to make sure that you have the right people in place for this. I think Google should have given them more than 7 days. So, I think 90, for full disclosure, 90 is absolutely ridiculous. You've got to be kidding.
Okay. A couple of things. So you should have taken that 30% and used it to write better code, hire the right people, blah, 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 whatever. I get what you're saying. So again, we have to keep in mind, this is beta software. This is not production software.
Absolutely.
Number one. Number two, bugs in software, it happens.
Absolutely.
Like the best developers are going to write code that has bugs in it. So it's not even realistic to say if by taking that 30%, they could have hired the right talent or spent more time debugging.
Sure. So that's fair. That. Like I get that, but the idea is like if you throw it out to Google, they have a wide net.
For sure.
A much wider net than whatever 30% is going to get you from Epic, in my opinion.
Now, here's the other side of this coin, too. Google, even though they have their app store, even though they have control over it, even though they have their vulnerability scanning stuff, has still let through malicious tools. So from Epic's perspective, it's a business decision to bypass a store that does not have it's got a passable track record. But it comes down to a business decision, and for them, we don't even need the Play Store because we basically control the entire pipeline.
Yeah.
And they're basically losing 30% to Apple and then another 30% to Google. Granted, it's not 60% total. That's not how the math works out, of course, but still, it's two slices of 30%, and that's a chunk of change. So I get the business decision. I know you do too.
Oh yeah, 100% do.
The consumer argument is the only one that I can sort of see against Epic, which annoys me because, beta software for the world's hottest game. People are going to get it when they're probably not ready to run beta software. So that 100%. Irritates me that it was out there in the state that it was in. Maybe hold the beta off for a little bit longer until you've done a little more troubleshooting. I'll give you that one. But again, fundamentally, the one that irritates me is because vulnerabilities are such a critical thing in modern everything. Everything has a vulnerability. It just hasn't been disclosed yet. The fact that Google leveraged that, putting phones and tablets and all kinds of stuff everywhere at risk just to make that point that, hey, 30% well spent, that's my problem. Because that's
my big thing is like 90 days is too much, 7 days is not enough, but I almost wonder it's like I don't know this, obviously I'm making this up. Is Epic so on one side where they're like, look, I control the whole pipeline, I'm asking for 90 days and you're just going to give it to me? Like, is it to the point where they're like, look, you're going to give me what I asked for because I control the entire pipeline, and Google's finally like, look, this is it.
No. It's
I don't know.
It's gentleman's agreement always with all this kind of stuff. It always comes down to a negotiation because again, so I deal with like enterprise level operating systems where this is a daily occurrence where you have to go back to the vendor and say, hey, security researchers, we found a problem. Let's work on it. Like, what's it going to take to fix it? They have to do the analysis. They have to figure out what's wrong with it. How long it's going to take. All of that stuff takes time. And again, if Google waited 30 days to do it, they would have. Wasn't talking to you, Google. If they waited 30 days to do it, I would have been a little more understanding. But when you're waiting 7 days, in the best case scenario, 7 days is barely enough time to turn around a patch, let alone a patch of that magnitude.
And that goes back to your point of it's beta.
It's beta, yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely.
Again,
But still, okay.
Again,
educate the users too. Buyer beware. If you're going to play with software that is beta, not only are you risking not having a complete version of the software, it might do weird things to your computer. It might also, or probably also, contain some type of vulnerability. So yeah, it's the consumer's the one that ends up.
The consumer is hurt in all of this. The idea is, like, to your point, maybe they released beta software when they shouldn't have released it. I don't know. I haven't played the game. Like, I haven't put it on my phone. That's for sure. Well, I'm not going to do it now. At this point, it's like Top Gun to me. I'm not watching Top Gun.
Just on principle.
I'm not watching Top Gun. I'm not playing Fortnite.
Gosh.
Like, you fall out of a plane, you're on the ground for like a nanosecond.
Oh yeah, hang on. Run down your hate of Fortnite because we have Mr. Dan Gage and the Everyday Dad in the channel right now.
Well, I mean, we kind of talked about it. Epic sucks. I'll come out and say it. They put the consumer completely at risk. I'm not disagreeing that Google didn't do it either, but if it's not in my, like, if I'm a business, if this is me, I'm going to pretend to be Google for a second.
Yeah.
And I'm a vindictive prick. So let's keep that really clear. If you're telling me you got a product and, like, look, I don't need you to sell it for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it because it's the number one product.
Yeah. Because I'm that big of a deal.
Because I'm that big of a deal. And then all of a sudden I go, that product's got a problem there, bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh! You got a problem! And then you go like, I need 90 days. And I go,
yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'm like, you get 30. Like, no, I need 90. No, you get 30. Like, look, I don't have the app in my store. I don't have, like, I got no vulnerability there, brother. So 7 days comes by and I'm like, hey, Stats, his stuff's broken. Woo!
Let the world know.
Everybody! So, Old Man River.
Number 2.
So I mean, that right there tells me Epic cared about the money. I get it. You control the pipeline. I get it. But when you're in the business of something like this, there is an inherent risk. You have to understand there's an inherent risk.
Yeah.
And since there is no law and it's just gentleman's agreement, why should I give you a gentleman's agreement when you're like, you ain't getting 30% of my stuff?
Well, because
where's that gentleman's agreement?
Well, hold on, because ultimately Google's going to bear responsibility for vulnerabilities on their phone. Google's the one that's going to end up paying the penalty for if the Fortnite launcher is leveraged for some type of like super gnarly malware or something along those lines. Google pays the brunt of that. It's going to cost Google more in just tech support to try and address that.
I'm glad they didn't wait 90 days at that point.
No. 90 days would have been the time frame that they were requesting. Now, granted, you can negotiate back and forth.
I'd have given them 3.
3 days?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You get 30. You get 36 hours.
So, a couple things.
Well, Fortnite sucks. Who cares who wants to play the game anyway?
Dan wants to know why Fortnite sucks. And the Everyday Dad says, I stopped editing my video to ask, like, what? You've never seen Top Gun?
Never seen Top Gun. Literally went, like, this came up last week.
This has come up for years.
Yeah, this is a long time. I'm never going to see Top Gun.
You know how many people have
never going to see Top Gun.
Stopped what they're doing
and go, wait a minute, you've never seen Top Gun? Like,
how?
I was in a wedding for a guy, like one of my closest friends. I've known him since the 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Way back. He loves Top Gun.
To the point
it is his favorite movie of all time.
To the point where he had shirts made for all the people that had names from the characters. Who were you?
Goose.
You were Goose.
I was Goose.
Who's Goose?
I don't know.
No idea.
He crashed. He crashed. Hit a mountain.
No, he didn't.
Didn't hit a mountain.
No,
he
he
hit
didn't.
something. He crashed.
No,
fell
he
asleep.
He hit the windshield.
He hit the windshield. Fell asleep. Here's what. Okay, I'm gonna make this up.
Canopy.
Hang on. So he was trying to eject. Busted his head. Dead.
Exactly.
Spoiler alert.
That movie's from like 1988. You know what's a better movie than Top Gun? Daytona, or whatever the other Tom Cruise movie was. Days of Thunder. Oh my God.
Also, Larry wants you to know that it's okay to be wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I
Wait, which
wholeheartedly
part
agree.
am I wrong
I
about?
wholeheartedly.
You gotta be real specific. Really specific.
Everyday Dad says, you've lost that loving feeling. You would get that joke if you watched the movie.
I've lost that loving feeling.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah. From Top Gun.
What? I don't.
A
A movie that I'm never gonna watch.
You would
Very clearly.
You would get the joke if you saw.
I don't
just,
need to get the
look,
joke
hold
because the movie sucks.
I'm gonna tie him down. I swear to God, I'm gonna tie him down and make him watch.
I
the
have
movie.
to turn down the game.
I will.
I have to
toothpick
turn the
his
game
eyes
down.
open to make sure that he
You
watches.
won't. You won't even drink a gallon of milk.
Everyday Dad goes unsubscribed.
Oh.
You know what? You know what? I support that. How about them apples?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's hurtful.
Yeah. I'm just
Everyday
saying,
Dad. I am
deserves
hurt
it.
by that.
Deserves it. Every ounce.
What are you talking about? I did say it was the worst movie ever. Look, I've never seen the movie. I've never seen the movie.
You've never played Fortnite.
I've
and
never
you
played
just
the
went
I just
on
went
a
on a
rampage.
rant that says it sucks. Look, I don't want to play a game. Oh, now I'm... Oh, you getting it now. I'm saucy. Look,
ahead.
here's the deal. I'm taking my glasses off. That's how big the deal is.
Ooh.
I am never going to play the game, and here's part of the reason why. It's like, as a middle-aged adult, not to say the middle-aged adult cannot play games. That is not what I'm saying. Look, I play board games all the time. That's not what I'm saying. My problem is when I play a game, like if I got into a board game like Risk, and I was like, okay, all of my stuff's set up, I'm getting ready to make my move to Kamchatka, right?
Close enough.
I call it Kamchatka because of the cheap vodka.
Yes.
Kamchatka vodka. Okay, come on, that was funny.
Oh, it's funny, but oh.
But you know what I'm
Okay,
talking about, right?
It pains me that I laughed at it. Go ahead.
Right.
Go
So
ahead.
I'm getting ready to move, and you're like, boom, dead, game over. Who wants to play a game like that? That sucks. I want to enjoy it. Look, foreplay. Give me a little bit of that foreplay. Oh God. I want a little bit. Just work me up into it.
Spiciest you've been in a long time.
Look, work me up to it. Let me try to at least figure out where I could go and hide in the game and be like, all right, I gotta make
You can
fire.
do that.
I gotta make fire. Like, oh, I'm gonna make fire. I'm gonna find a gun. Oh, I'm gonna find a gun. Okay.
You can do that.
Yeah,
All
but
in
if
the
I
game.
land from the plane and
Yeah.
everyone's like, blah, blah, done, like, then I get out of a plane again and I do it. Look, if I want to go
Yeah.
skydiving, I'll go skydiving.
Yeah.
There's a ton of those things that I could go out and download right now and enjoy skydiving.
Sure.
But if I'm playing Fortnite, I want to do the floss. I
Yeah.
want to do the dance. I want to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let me do the stuff.
You can do that.
Let me do all those things.
You can do that. It just so happens that if you catch a bullet with your teeth, you just have to start the game over.
I
That's
don't
all there
want
is
to
it.
do that. I
Meanwhile-
don't want to do that.
Meanwhile, I have been playing, and I know the Everyday Dad has been playing a game called Dead Cells, which is a game where arguably you
I don't
do that
want
over and over.
I
again.
don't look. I watched you play the game the other day. I was like, absolutely not. I don't want to do that. That is
one of the greatest games I've
that's-
ever played. So
That
much fun.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
It's okay to be wrong, Scott.
I'm not wrong. I don't want to play a game like that.
It's okay to be wrong.
It's okay not to have games like that.
I mean,
Literally, you move to
fair.
Kamchatka and you're like, boom, got you. War's over.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
that's how war works, Scott.
Not in my world. Top Gun sucks.
Oh man.
Oh my God, I am fired up. Hit me with something else. I'll put you down.
Hey, you know what's not sacred anymore?
Leaks. Nothing. Oh my. How did you know? Why you gotta leak everything? What is going on?
So
I am so bummed about that. Wow, I'm. Whoa. Wow.
So I have to take a moment to address. Everyday Dad says, "Oh my God, I can't stop playing Dead Cells." Bruh. I feel you like on a
do that.
subatomic level. I
Can't do
feel
that
you.
game.
It's
I don't wanna
annoying,
start over.
but it's irritating how much I want to play that game. It's like it annoys me where I'm in the middle of it. Well, so first of all, I had literally an entire day of meetings nonstop until 5 p.m. And I was on a conference call that I did not care about.
It's
the whole
true
time.
story.
Like,
It was in my driveway.
In your driveway,
Yeah.
on a conference call in my van, going, I would way rather be playing Dead Cells right now. I digress. I
have
I
spit
don't wanna-
on my screen. I was so fired up.
spittle.
I
don't want to talk about the nature of the leaks, but suffice to say, in the last couple of weeks, so we heard about the Pixel 3 XL leaks, or the Pixel 3 leaks that happened a couple of weeks ago, and then today,
the Apple ones.
Apple.
We had the Note 9 leaks too.
Oh yeah, the Note 9. I forgot
Everything
about that. Wow,
leaks.
yeah. And then now, Apple, the new iPhone. I don't think we've seen the specifics on the hardware, but we've definitely seen sizes and colors and stuff like that for the new iPhone hardware. Rumor on the street is that the new iPhone event will be September 12th.
Yeah, that's not even a rumor. That's truth.
I read it. When I read it, was still a rumor. So.
Ready? Round
Yep.
iPhone. I'm just kidding.
It's just a circle.
It's just a circle. That's all it is. Round iPhone. That's what it is. We're bringing back the Palm Pre.
Oh.
Hey, would you rather climb the highest mountain or travel to the bottom of the sea?
Oh, climb the tallest mountain.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm with you.
You're crazy. Stats
I
wants to
don't-
go under the sea.
No.
Under the sea.
I don't do
Under the sea.
I don't do ocean.
Yeah, I
I
want the
don't do
reason.
ocean.
What's the reason? Stats. Hit me.
Fewer people have been to the bottom of the ocean than have been to the top of Everest, so
Oh.
you would be on a shorter list.
Okay, that's fair. Basically, what he said
Cool.
is you can get to, you would be on a list of, I would say, probably 2 hands max of people who have been to probably the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
Is it there's
Challenger
more?
Deep.
Yeah, Challenger Deep. Well, I think the stat is there's more people that have been to the moon than been to Challenger Deep.
Right.
I think that's still the stat.
Okay.
Which is
which is cool.
Bananas.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying like that. I mean, again, to kind of take words out of Greg's mouth, it's okay to be wrong. Everest though, Everest. That's just you. A little bit of atmosphere.
Let me add.
Woo!
Let me just add
And a whole lot of frostbite.
One little bit more.
I want the
nugget
view.
specifically
Yeah.
for you, Scott.
What?
You could jump in a fully equipped submersible with no physical training and make it to the bottom of Challenger Deep.
Could do the same thing with Everest.
You're gonna have to do a lot of
Look,
exercise.
you're
we all gonna have to do a lot of exercise.
Look,
to get
full
top
disclosure,
Everest.
I am obsessed with Everest.
really.
Yes,
I did not know this.
I
about
don't
you.
know why. I've always wanted to climb it. I know darn well that I can't. I've had both my ankles repaired surgically. It's not happening. It's not in the cards for me. I understand that, but I have desperately wanted to go to base camp, just regular base camp 1, not the Death Zone base camp or camp 4. I don't want to do that. That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
When you get up to that point, you had best be moving because you've got maybe 20 hours in Death Zone 4. Maybe. You got to go from there. You make the trek from 3 to 4, and you have a very finite window.
Yeah.
And you had best hope that the weather is good because it's 50-50 whether you're coming back.
So
Sign me up all day, every day. If I was in good physical shape,
Yeah.
I would do it in a heartbeat. It's expensive.
oh yeah.
It's like
Oh,
40,
yeah.
50 grand.
I
You
mean-
can do it on the black market cheap for 10.
Who would do that?
People do it.
That's insane to me.
I don't understand.
I don't.
I want to go to Everest so bad. So bad.
Yeah.
I just want to go there, just to see and just stand in the awe of the mountain. Just to know that is the tallest point on the planet. And there have been people up there, and they have taken pictures.
Yeah.
They have literally taken a picture and brought that down to see, the curvature of the Earth is round. Spoiler alert.
That's my other favorite one.
It's round.
Idiots.
You can see literally the curvature. You're so close.
Yeah.
There's nothing between you and space.
Yeah, well, yeah, there is. There's a lot between you and space.
You get what
but-
I'm saying?
but yeah,
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying.
Yeah. That's it. That's amazing.
Everyday Dad says Everest is an elevator now. More people get injured because of the long lines than experts climbing it. That's interesting.
That doesn't surprise me. Everybody wants to do it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Especially since it's such well-worn paths at this point. The more people that do it, the more people do it, the more people want to do it, and then the more people do it.
Yeah. the debris is a problem.
Oh,
Massive
I've
problem.
heard trash
Like,
everywhere, bodies everywhere. of
bodies,
course.
trash,
Yeah.
air tanks,
Yeah.
all that. Like, I guess the good thing is if I were to go up there, I would be preserved forever. Theoretically.
Yeah.
I mean, I would literally be just a popsicle, a peach sickle.
A peach sickle. This guy.
Big body Cadillac
with,
sickle.
with the puns and such.
Oh!
Man, I don't. The
I am all
I would
over
be
the page.
interested in both. I'll be honest, but I think I would rather like the view would be way more impressive on Everest than I mean you go you know that you're far underwater because you spent hours in a stupid cylinder. this
A
big.
closet. You're
Yeah,
in a
oh.
closet.
If that like you there's no standing up.
What happens if you have to pee? You just go.
Just go, man.
Just go, bro. Let it go. It's warm.
You better have a whole lot of empty Gatorade bottles.
Dude, I don't know.
You just open up the window and pee out the window and then close it back up again.
Don't worry about that pressure. Everything. But that's the other thing is like,
Ugh.
what do you see down there? What's nothing?
Well, I mean,
But with Everest, you see everything.
Hold on, there's the potential to see like some crazy stuff, like the goblin shark or the ghost shark, that they just captured like a live view of one, like they've never seen one in the wild or something. Like there's the potential to be like one of two people on the entire planet in the history of the human species to have seen X. That's not really the case with Everest. So like it's
I agree.
It's a much more prestigious club to get into to dive to the bottom.
But what you might see at Everest, you definitely gonna see.
Yeah,
you gonna see everything.
And that's so to me, that's the thing that I would be interested in the Everest. It's the humility aspect. It's the it's the realization that you are nothing in the face of
Nothing.
nature, and on the top of this mountain, like Mother Nature doesn't give a crap about you.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's a humbling experience, man.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
I'm sure you could say the same thing about going under the water.
I'm
like,
sure.
There is nothing, literally nothing
When you
between
have-
you and the core of the earth other than dirt.
when you have literally a mile plus, a couple of miles worth of water over your head, there is no sunlight, and again, Mother Nature doesn't care about you. Like the slightest crack in your titanium
You're
sphere
done.
that you're
Like,
in, yeah,
Game over.
yeah, you
You are literally crushed.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, you
Instantly.
are, yeah,
Jelly.
Jelly?
You would be turned into jelly.
Oh yeah, you would
Yeah.
be
vegetable beef soup,
squeeze it out.
yeah, that's the one.
Ugh.
Yeah, pretty gross. So Dan Gage, real quick, has been having some issues on Twitter. I don't know the whole story, so I would love, Dan, if you want to, leave some comments about what the whole situation is. But I know that there's a situation where he got locked out of his current Twitter account and had to fall back to his reserved Twitter account, which is now apparently going to be his permanent Twitter account.
Oh, that would explain a lot why I saw a second account of yours, which would make a lot of sense. I have not heard that one.
Yeah. So I don't know what the whole history is, but again,
I would be interested to know what Twitter says.
me too. But for all of our followers out there who also happen to follow Dan, check him out on his new Twitter account. Dan, go ahead and leave that in the comments there. We'll make sure that gets publicized. Dan's a great dude.
Good dude.
Yeah.
From Ohio.
Also,
not originally.
in Ohio now.
In Ohio
so
currently.
We welcome him with open arms.
Ohio, it's for lovers. Actually, that's West Virginia. No, that's Virginia.
No, Ohio's for lovers too.
Is it?
Yeah, it was a song by a terrible band. What's the name of the band? Can't remember. Not important.
Stats!
Working on it.
He's working on it.
Ohio's for lovers. I guarantee it'll come up.
If you play it, don't play it
don't
because
do
it's copyrighted.
No.
We didn't see them.
Hawthorne Heights.
There it is, Hawthorne Heights.
Boy, I would have never guessed that one.
Yep. Saw them in
Not
concert.
in a million years.
Why?
Why?
Because it was free.
It's all. Did I say 98 degrees in concert?
Okay. Why?
It was free.
Okay.
Wait, was it 98
But
degrees?
why?
Dude, I was like a sophomore in high school. I don't know.
Yeah, no. But why?
Do we really want to get into this?
No, I really don't. I really don't.
What are we talking about now?
We got one more.
Virginia's for lovers. Yes. What's the one more?
Well, so first of all, Everyday Dad says some of the best people are from Ohio. I'm just saying.
It's
you
the
know what?
truth. Some of the best people are from Ohio.
That guy's going places. That's a smart guy.
Hopefully he's
Smart
subscribed
guy.
to our channel.
Resubscribed. I mean, it's not It's not a leak, right? But there was some information about IFC, I think. So there's a German mobile. It's analogous to Mobile World Congress, but it's a German conference where they do a lot of reveal of technology and stuff like that. The run up to that, what?
Good.
The run up to that, there was an announcement that there's going to be a new version of Android Wear, Android Wear 3.
So full disclosure, I don't know if Ben's in the comments. Is he?
He was earlier. I don't know if he's there now.
Ben, if you're still on there, the watch that I bought from you no longer works.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm so bummed out about it.
That was a dope watch.
It was a dope watch.
That
So
was
I'm
the
so bummed out
LG
about LG Sport. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a really good Android watch.
You know, it's not a good Android watch.
Fossil. Holy crap, that's bad.
And I love Fossil watches. I've had this watch for years. I love this watch. I've had a
God.
bunch of Fossil watches. The Fossil Q, Smart Q.
Awful.
It's a trash watch.
It was hot
Yeah.
dumpster fire. Awful.
Yeah.
Awful watch.
Super not impressed with them.
Do people still care about smartwatches?
No, okay. Conversation's about to get real meta here because I fundamentally think that wearables is almost inarguably the future. I don't think that long term, I don't think that this is going to be the form factor that we have
I would
in the
agree.
future. And I think that it is going to be wearables. Now, whether or not that's watch versus some type of like contact lens or something crazy technical,
I would have it implanted right in my face.
I don't know that it would help you that much.
Wow, that's that got dark. You like glass, like Google Glass.
Oh,
we
yeah,
always
yeah,
bring
yeah.
it up. Watches are the same way. Wearables are there, but the challenge always is battery.
Yeah, but I think a logical way to handle that, especially with the kind of mainstreaming of things like mesh networking technologies.
Mm-hmm.
So even in the IT space that I play in, there's a lot more happening with hardware where it's modular hardware add-ons. So you don't have just one box that has a whole bunch of processor, a whole bunch of RAM, a whole bunch of hard drive. You have basically slots that are like, this is more battery, this is more CPU, this is more RAM. And then you, via software, define you abstractly grab or virtually grab pieces from this whole massive resource pool and say, this is a computer now. So the idea of having, maybe it's not all in your phone. Maybe you have a certain amount of computation and a certain amount of feature set that is provided by your watch, and some by your glasses, and some by whatever. And then those things communicate via a mesh network of some variety. So it's this passing of data back and forth. If I turn my watch off, I don't lose all connectivity. I just might lose my heartbeat monitor. Something along those lines. Like I see that type of thing. It may not be
How do you solve the battery problem, though?
Well, each individual thing would have its own battery. So if the
So you're
battery
saying-
in my watch
okay.
died, it's not that we're sharing battery across all the devices.
Okay.
It's just that
You're sharing
instead of
processing power or
because
whatever.
instead of having one device that has to have all of the crazy hardware to be able to do all of the things that it does, you just you simplify it. You split the task up a little bit
So then you could take the same form factor and shove more battery in it. Yes? Theoretically?
Yeah.
So like if I don't need all of the computational power in a watch, I just need a bigger battery. I could do computational power somewhere else.
Yeah.
Bring it into the battery. Bring it into the
via
watch.
Bluetooth or whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
however
yeah.
the
But give a
communication
better
works,
like maybe it's
Yeah.
just nothing but screen and battery, but the computational power is done on the phone.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I think that yes, wearables are fundamentally a big deal, and it's just a matter of normalizing it in the popular consciousness, number one. Something that Google Glass did not do.
Oh God, no.
And number two,
God.
hardware is a problem because the other big problem, so while we talked a little bit about the iPhone leaks that came out, one of the other things that they're talking about is Apple Watch Series 4, supposedly debuting in September 12th, running on newer hardware.
Okay.
Android watches are running on the
God, I
exact
saw this.
same chipset, the exact same hardware that was designed in 2013. That's a humongous problem. Like you're never, for there being 50, I think Google claims that there's over 50 different models of Android watch. For there being 50 different models that are out there, it's remarkable that there's just no other option
Could you imagine when
hardware.
like say that we get like a chipset that's very similar to Apple in a Google Watch? Could you imagine like flying?
It would be super fast. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's not really the speed. It's the battery efficiency, and that's one of the things that Google
Speed
Watches
sucks too,
well, yeah, speed sucks. Don't get me wrong. But one of the things that Android Wear watches get beat up for all the time, and the thing that makes them such a difficult sell is the battery life is abysmal.
Oh my god, the
It's
battery life is so
awful.
bad.
Yeah, so that limits your ability to miniaturize. Like Android watches, big fat watches.
Mm-hmm.
Big fat watches, slow, terrible battery life.
Big fat
All
watches.
of that gets fixed
So like
if you have
screen name.
big fat watches.
Big fat watches.
All of that gets fixed if there's a different chipset, but Qualcomm will not produce a new chipset, and I
Why?
don't understand why.
It's
I
a
don't
big
understand
market.
why. Yeah, it is.
Make a chip for it.
Yeah, and I think the Apple Watch proves that there's a market for that, but I don't get it. I don't understand why.
Is Everyday Dad still out there? He wears Apple Watch, I think, all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like
I don't
almost
know.
all the time. I'm almost positive of it. There's so much you can do with it. Oh, by the way, the new Moment app for iOS.
Yeah.
You can now change the shutter with for your watch. Like,
See,
it makes sense. It makes total sense.
That's what I'm talking about. So think about that. You've effectively got an extension of your phone on your wrist where Everyday Dad says it's awesome. So yeah,
I get it. Like, I totally
my
get it.
wife has a watch.
No, I understand. But
Matter of fact, when my wife got her Apple Watch, we initially went to the Fossil store, and we bought 2 Fossil watches. She was going to go with the Fossil watch because she likes the look. Again, much like me, I love the look of the traditional watch.
The round watch.
Yeah, the metal band, the works. And Fossil had some really good looking watches. She got it home, used it for less than a day, and was like, "This isn't working."
No, like the Fossil watch. Okay, in fairness to Android though, that Fossil watch was trash.
Yeah.
Like the LG Sport that I had was beautiful. Worked like a charm. Loved it.
Yep.
The Fossil institutionalization of Android Wear. I don't think it's the word I was looking for. We'll go with it.
The Fossil institutionalization of
It's like a quarter to. It's a quarter to 10.
That Red Bull wore off a long time ago.
Whoa, bro! Like, oh man, kind of like when Goose went down with the plane.
That one scene.
That one scene where he went like,
saw.
yeah, like he totally went down with the
Yeah.
plane, and it wasn't an injection seat. Seat?
Remind me again. What were his last words? What was the last thing he said?
His last words were,
"Use the Force, Luke."
I believe, again, I might get this a little, I might misrepresent this a little bit. I believe that the last words
What does this handle do?
were something to the nature of like, that's a mountain. What were his last words? I don't actually know.
Hey, watch this.
Oh.
I don't remember either.
I'd have
I'll
to
be
think
honest.
about that.
Somebody, you guys are just giving me crap all the time.
Yeah, this is about making fun of you, not me. Benjamin. Ben says.
Benjamin.
Hopefully, Pixel Watch is incoming. Look, I would love nothing more than that.
Man,
My
that would be
thing is,
dope.
here's the thing. Google,
Dupe.
if you're going to release a Pixel Watch that is still running on the Snapdragon 2200 or 2100, whatever
Then I don't want it.
I don't. Save yourself the effort because all you're going to do is just tarnish the brand. You need to get a new chipset out there that is substantially more battery efficient, something that can realistically compete with the Apple Watch. Different story. You put that in a piece of hardware, I am incredibly interested in it. But I'm not. I don't care. Android 3, or Android Wear 3, I don't care what it is. I'm not putting that on my wrist. I'm not doing it. It's
stopped
It's
wearing
not
a
worth
watch,
it, man.
so I
It's
stopped
not
wearing
worth
it.
it.
Again, did you figure out what his last words were? It's because the movie sucks. Would you rather be able to do a Hadouken
Yeah.
or Scorpions Get Over Here? Oh yeah, that's a tough one. I know what I'm choosing. Hands down, 10 out of 10, twice on Sundays.
The Hadouken.
No.
Really?
Scorpions Get Over Here every time.
Hold up. Did you ever see the Mortal Kombat movie?
Oh man, that movie was trash.
It was absolutely trash.
But I love it when he's like,
Yeah.
And the little guy's
and
like,
then it comes out of his hand.
It's like, but he's holding it there like this. Like, what are you doing? And then
it comes
it's
out
like
of
a
his
little,
hand.
it's like a little duck.
Yes.
It was cool.
Whatever.
It looked like a duck.
Sure, looked like
Or
a duck.
It's like the little thing that comes out of the alien's mouth. You know?
Yeah.
It's closer to a duck.
I feel like the important thing, though, is that it comes out of your hand, and you're okay with that. You want a thing that lives in your arm or whatever orifice, and then it cuts your hand open and then shoots out. I'll go with the fireball from the hand.
I was gonna say
You're okay with fire shooting out of your hand.
Magic.
It's not
but-
fire. It's chi energy.
Yeah.
It's chi energy?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that. But Top Gun's a great movie, alright.
As much as it
Better than the
pains.
Street Fighter movie.
Hold on. Oh, poor Raul
Boy, that-
Julia.
oh,
Poor
man.
Raul Julia. Okay, first of all,
died right during the movie.
first of all, as much as it just eats me up inside to say this,
You're gonna tell me I'm right?
Stats is right. It is chi energy. It's not really fire.
And it's a standoff weapon, which I prefer to something that
It
pulls
is
my
a
enemies closer to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you guys are sissies. Look at this. Look at this. I think I have it pulled. Oh man. This is the worst CGI I've ever seen.
Do you have
I had it pulled up.
Oh.
I'm gonna try to see if I can do a screen on
It's
screen.
so
Can I do that?
You can try it.
No, but my problem is like, will we get in trouble for that?
I don't care. Fair use. Boom shakalaka. Ben points
I
out
believe
in the
you're right.
comments, he says, Wear OS, rumored to be launching with the Snapdragon 3100. You have my attention. Pixel
Ben
Watch.
said that?
Pixel Watch says rumored, the rumor, potential Pixel Watch, rumor is Snapdragon 3100. Now, again, if that's true, if there is legitimately some new hardware in the wings, waiting
No,
out
words,
there
words,
in
words.
the ether.
Words?
Yeah, I'm super interested in that.
I have it.
Do you really?
I have
Okay.
it. I'm gonna attempt
let's
to do
see.
this.
This is what you want. You actively.
I want this thing that I'm about to show you.
Okay, do your thing.
Keep on with whatever you're talking
No,
about.
no.
Oh, boom, boom, boom. Oh,
big,
yes.
Big thing is the battery efficiency. If the 3100, which should, I mean, it's modern architecture at that point, modern manufacturing process, so you should have some substantial leaps in battery efficiency. For a wearable, it all comes down to the battery. All comes down to the battery. And then hopefully having a legitimate wearable that is of like the Pixel name caliber, something that Google is willing to attach the Pixel name to. Hopefully that is enough to start to attract the Moments or whoever application designers to start writing stuff that'll run on app on the smartphone. Because right now Apple is murdering Google in the wearables. I mean, it's no contest.
It's on the screen.
Okay.
It is actively on the screen.
Why?
Look at that. It looks
Do
like a
you
bird.
want
It's like
that?
a bird. It's like a duck. It looks like a duck.
But
More pelican.
It's
It's kind of a birdie.
I was gonna say it looks like a parrot.
Okay, a
Like,
parrot.
out
I'll
of his
take that. I'll
hand,
think it's a parrot. Look, it's out of his hand. What I mean, it's fine.
yeah,
But yet you want to take
magic. My spirit.
Hang on, let me pull some chi for you.
Hang on, it's my life energy. I am harnessing.
Look at all I have a whole
life's
pile
energy
of chi for you right here.
and focusing that into
If
a
you
ball
chi,
of magic.
if you chi in one hand and crap in the other,
Which one fills up first? You're the worst. You're
oh my
literally the
god!
worst. All right, you got anything else you want to hit him with?
I don't know. I don't know. I want that.
You want that? There you go. There you go.
I need a parrot's head.
Yeah.
And shove it through the back of my hand. Oh God.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Technically Speaking Live show from
Boy.
here inside the 1% Studios. Thank you all so much for stopping by to watch and check out. If you haven't already done so, please like, share, and subscribe. Come back next week, same bat time, same bat
Next
channel.
week we have.
Yeah, I got it listed.
You do.
As long as it's correct.
It should be. Why wouldn't it be? Oh no, it is, isn't it? It is that one.
It is that one. We have.
No.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna spoil it.
Oh, you're gonna do it.
Look,
You're gonna
you got
leak
it.
it?
Oh, it's a leaker.
I'm not leaking.
Leaker.
Look, I'm giving the people a reason to come back and check it out.
Nope,
You
nope.
have to come back next week to check out Mr. Give it to him.
It's Mr. Preston.
It is Mr. Preston.
It's
the Preston.
the Preston.
The Prestone.
This like
He wears
comes
shirts
out
sometimes.
of retirement. comes out of retirement to do this. Very rare.
That was a deep movie quote nobody got.
I don't even know what that means. Like, is that what he said right before he pulled the chute before the mountain?
Yeah. That's exactly what
Preston
coming out of retirement.
Out of retirement. He
Semi-retirement.
very rarely makes a public appearance.
Did us a solid, said he would be willing to show up to our show for a nominal fee. Several zeros at the end of it, but that's okay.
A couple commas.
He was worth it. He was worth it.
Oh, look, we spend for you.
Yeah. All for you. All for you.
Extra
So
30%.
be sure, extra 30%. Be sure to come back next week and check out. That's going to be a great show. As always, hopefully with substantially fewer technical problems.
I don't promise that.
I don't,
It's your network. It's not me.
It's your laptop.
It's not my laptop. It's got to be your bull. What did he say before he crashed into the mountain?
Tune in next week and we'll have the answer. Probably. Maybe. We'll figure it out by then.
Somebody will watch Top Gun because it ain't going to be me. Hit him with your socials!
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Ominous Hominid. That's pretty much the only place because I forego all other socials. Even though my wife is trying to get me to do Instagram.
Should totally do it.
We'll see.
Instagram!
Where you at?
At Big Body Cadillac
That's the
on the gram.
Mm-hmm.
And at Scott Peachy, Fuzzy Fruit with an EY on the end, on the tweet machine.
There you go. That's where you can find us. Big thank you to Mr. Michael Daniels for joining us once again. This has been the Technically Speaking Live Show. Thank you all. We love you. We mean it. Right here. Big
Hearts and kisses. Hearts and kisses.
See y'all next week.
Hearts and kisses. Hearts and kisses. In his name!